Hello guys, and welcome again to my channel, and in this tutorial we are going to talk about Laravel form validation. So we have this image upload form, and this image upload form I've created using this code. This code is the one that is responsible for rendering this form. Now you can see I have image controller, and the image controller I've written the code for processing the form. And then if you go to the web.blade.php, you find that I have four routes, and the first one renders the form, this route here, and then when I hit on upload button, this one, you find that this is the route that takes over the form processing, the form details process or form data processing, and then this one takes us to the gallery. Okay, so but the most important thing is to deal with right now is validation. How do you validate form in Laravel 8? Well, so validation is important, and there are two ways in which you can apply validation in the form. So for example, right now we don't have validation. You can click on this button and you're going to get an error, right? You're going to get this error because there's nothing that you've input in these fields. So we have front-end validation that is provided by HTML5, and you just have to go to your form and put there required attribute. So the front-end validation that is provided by HTML5 is very simple, and that just requires you to go to the input fields and add an attribute of required. And after inputting the attribute of required, you can save the form. And if you go back to the form and refresh, if we try to click on submit button, you see it tells us fill this field. And if we enter that and try to click fill this field, then if we try to click and then fill this one, select the file. So that is the front-end validation using HTML5. But remember to do validation both on the front end and the back end. So that brings us to validation in Laravel. So remember that when we click on upload button here, we are supposed to receive the title, the description, and the image. Okay. So how do we validate these? And the most important, we have various validation roles. Let's just go to the image controller, and this is the method that is responsible for processing that form. So this is the functionality for processing the form, but then we first have to validate the form. So here we are going to write the validation. So the first thing we just do request and then validate. So the request has a method called validate, and that validate takes an array and now the rules that you want to validate. So for example, what are we validating? We have like title. So we have title, and one of the rules is required, is called required. So basically required will tell this Laravel that do not allow that value if it is empty. So it is not going to go past this if this title is empty, right? So let's just save that and go to the upload form, and let's just remove these HTML5 validation rules. Save it, and then after that let's try submitting the form. So let's first refresh. and you see there's nothing that is happening. So there's nothing is happening, but then what is happening that when the details, when the form is submitted, this rule is checked here and then find that the title is required and it is not there, so it just returns back. But then that is not efficient for the user who is using the form. You have to tell the user something, and you have blade tag, so a blade functionality where you can do at error, and then you have to specify the error. Okay, so at error, and then the error for what? So the error for this name here, this title, like that. And if it is that if there is an error, we just do the message. You just echo the message that comes like that, or the message that error carries like that. So if we save this and go back again, refresh and try submitting, you see the title field is required. So that is an error. So what you can do, you can style it. You can style it in a way that you can do a paragraph, and then put this message here, and then you can give it bootstrap classes. For example, alert, since it is an error, we can do alert danger like that. And now let's go and try to refresh and submit, and you can see this beautiful error here. And then we can give it also a class of margin top of 2, even 1. So let's just refresh and try to submit, and you see this error well styled. So that is for the title, and you can just do it. For example, we have many roles that you can just search for them, but the most important is the required. And you can do, for example, you have max. So the max character, you can do 255, so that the character should not exceed 255. Let's try to do max 30 like that. Let's just try to do max 30 like that, then save it. And then after that, let's go here, refresh, and then just write many characters and see. And then after that, we'll try to submit and see. And you can see the title may not be greater than 30 characters. So there are many validation rules. You can be that, you can be min, you can do min. So that is the minimum character. You can do maybe minimum of 5. Right, so let's save that and try to do this. Just do that and try to submit again. You can see the title must be at least 5 characters. So those are the validation rules that you can use, and there are other rules, right? So that is the title. You can copy that, and you can do that for maybe description. You can do max 255, minimum 5, and then the same we can do for the image. You can do for the image, and this is going to be required, right? So that is basically how we do the validation. Is use this request, and then you use the method validate. So and then you pass the rules here. And now if we save that, if we try to submit, you see the title is required, but then we don't have any error for this description, right? So what you have to do is to come to the upload form.blade.php, and then we just copy this and paste down here, and that is going to be for description. And then we can copy it again, you can paste it down here, and that is going to be for the image. And if we save that and try to go back and refresh and try submitting, you can see the title is required, description is required, and the image is required. So basically that is how you can do validation in Laravel 8. And there are many rules, so these are not the only rules that we have. We have very many rules that you can look at them and see how you want to validate your form according to the field that you have and what you want to be done. So that is all about Laravel validation, and thank you so much, and maybe we'll meet in the next tutorial.